it's Myron at Zuk's Off-Road. Today we're going to be working on a 98, maybe it's a 97, 98. You never know with Suzuki, you know, it took them 6 months to get here sometimes, but we're going to be working on adjusting the valves on a 16 valve. The customer asked me to, what with the video, where's your video for 16 valve adjustment? And I said, well, we'll make one for you. So basically, I'm going to just show you a few things, warn you about a few things, and then we're going to get close up and show you how to do it. First thing is I asked this customer, hey, have you checked your pressure regulator? And he goes, yeah. And I pulled off the hose and it's wet with gas. So don't forget, your pressure regulator right here in front of the fuel rail, you pull that vacuum line off, see the gas is dripping out of here. Really bad for the motor. Another thing I want to talk to you about, whether you have the plastic air ram or whether you have the aluminum one, you have to be really careful with this junction right here because this is very brittle. I warned the customer, he took it off and he broke it. Whoops, so anyways, those are obsolete, so be very careful trying to get that off. Now we've already disconnected the water lines, the air lines, and so we're just going to pull the air ram horn out here. And we have disconnected the hose off of the PVC. We've taken the bracket off that mounts the air ram horn. Put that over there. And we're going to pull the spark plugs out. Now I've taken the valve cover off here, and as you can see, when you get your new valve cover, you're going to get new little pocket cups to keep the oil out of the spark plug holes. So you want to peel these off. You want to peel the rubber out of there, throw that away. You can clean this up a little bit. We'll show you with the new stuff on it before we put it back. And now what I'm going to do is get in a little bit different angle so that you can get a close-up and see what we're doing here. Okay, so what I've done is I put this on top dead center, and now I can find out which valves I can adjust. And of course I mean rockers. Okay, so basically what we have is a 16 valve engine here, so it's very similar to an 8 valve. There's just 2 more rockers per valve. And so what I'm doing now is I'm checking to see am I top dead center number 1 or number 4. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to touch number 1 exhaust here, and sure enough number 1 exhaust is loose, so they're both loose, and then I can wiggle the intakes here. So it's just like an 8 valve. I'll be adjusting both intake and exhaust on number 1, and then I'll be looking here at number 2 intake, yep, and then number 3 exhaust, and yep. Okay, so those will be the ones that I'll be adjusting, and then I'm going to rotate the engine 1 complete revolution just like an 8 valve, and then I'll be adjusting number 4 intake and exhaust, number 3 intake, and number 2 exhaust, just like an 8 valve. Alright, so here we go. I'm going to get out my feeler gauge. Now I like to run them 6 on the intake side and 7, and of course you know what that means, is 6,000ths and 7,000ths. So what you're going to do on this one is you're going to be putting the feeler gauge between the lobe and the rocker pad itself, and this one is loose, but it's just a little tight. I can't quite get that 7 in there, so this one is too tight. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and loosen up the cool little tool I have here. You need a screwdriver and you need a wrench, and this is 2 in 1, so it makes it a little bit easier for me. Alright, so we're going to get that in there, and now we're going to adjust that screw. I want a nice little drag. The way I like to describe this to people that I'm training here at the shop is if you pinch this, you know, pretty good, that's the drag I want to feel. Just like that. Just pinch it. So that's what I want to feel here, and that's what I've got. So now what I'm going to do is get my little fancy tool here, and it holds it, and then I can tighten it. Just requires a little bit more coordination than normal. There we go. Get that guy around there, drop him down, and now I can tighten that while I hold it. That's a nice little drag there. Get him nice and tight. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and get the second exhaust valve. It's also a little tight, so somebody's been playing around with this one. So we're going to drop him down in there. Get that drag that I like. And we're going to go ahead and tighten it. Check the drag. Alrighty, so that takes care of our exhaust on number 1. Now we've got to do the intake. Now the intake is pretty hard to do on this one because it's up underneath. So what I do is I get my 6 and I come up from the back side or the passenger side and I bend this, because see, if you come in this way you can also do that, but it's a little bit hard with my tool right here. So that one is too loose. So get it all in there. Loosen it. Get the drag that I want. Then hold the screwdriver and then tighten. Alright, I like that one. This one is good. Okay, so I'm done with number 1. Now what I would do, just like an 8 valve, only there's two for 1. So now what I got to do is I've got to find the next one that's going to be loose, and that's going to be my number 2 intakes here. And then I will go to the number 3, I think it's number 3 exhaust. Yep. So I would do number 2 intake, number 3 exhaust. That's 4 adjustments. Then I would rotate the engine 1 time, and everything that I adjusted is now going to be into play, and everything that's loose is what I'm going to adjust. It's that simple. And so I'm going to go ahead and pause this right now. We're going to finish this up and then we'll close it up for you. Alright, I want you to get the Feld Pro. It's a really good kit. You see, you get the new cups to protect the spark plugs from oil. And I really like how the Feld Pro blue seal fits here. So we're ready to button this up now that you've seen how to adjust the 16 valves. Thank you very much for watching the videos. Go wheeling, be safe, have fun, and don't forget, see right down here, hit that subscription button. Thank you. Oh, notification too. Hey everybody, have fun. I've been snowboarding better than I ever have before. I'm going to be 70 this year, so I'm getting pretty excited. We still have about a month of good weather up there in the mountains. Thank you very much everybody for your comments. See you guys. Bye.